Hey everyone, today I'm creating 20 slimline cards using the April 2022 SheetLoad card template. This is part of the Rewind collaboration for this month, and there will be a link below on how to get the sketch, as well as a link to the playlist that has all of our different projects, so you can get a few ideas on how to use the sketch. Now, the paper that I'm using today is called Blush Indulgence, and it is from 3/4 Designs. There are 12 pages of single-sided paper, but 2 of them have cut aparts or ephemera, and so therefore I'm going to get 2 cards from each sheet of the remaining 10, so 20 in total. This sheet load is actually one of my favourites, and I've used it several times. Here's a little bit of a view of the different style of cards that I've made, but I just genuinely love how you can cut down a 6x6 piece of paper and get 2 cards with no scraps. It also made my top 5 sheet load list, so I'll put a link to that below just in case you're interested in checking out that video also. Now, as I said, this is so easy to cut down. So with these pattern papers, what I'm actually doing when I'm chopping these down is cutting them at 3 inches, and then I'm cutting them at 4.5. But I'm actually making sure that I understand what's the top and the bottom of the paper, because it does have some text and some script on these pages. And then I'm also working out if I cut the left or the right hand side off when I'm doing the smaller component of the card. Because I don't want to have any scraps left today, I am cutting down all of the little sentiment boxes or the little decorative pieces as well. So I did get out my little Cutterby scissors and I fussy cut out all of those little elements you can see in the top right, so the butterflies and the flowers. In order to make these cards as quick as possible, I do them bulk style. So I have already made my card bases and I am literally just adding some ATG to the back of as many as I can fit on my desk, and I'm adding them to the card bases just bulk style. Now, it really doesn't matter what I'm putting on which card, I just need to get them all onto a card base. And then as the next step, I'll match them up with whatever piece of pattern paper I'm going to put on the right, because there's only 2 pieces on these card designs today. I'm really curious if you enjoy making cards that are a different shape to A2. Normally, I'm a little bit hesitant because it can be difficult to find envelopes that go with them, but what I have found is with these ones, the envelopes that fit really well are in the US, I think they're called check envelopes, and maybe in Australia they're called bank envelopes, which means basically they are the perfect size of an old school check. So you might be able to find envelopes using a Google search for that. I will try and put a link below to where I found some of the envelopes, but they are a little harder to find in Australia than they are in the United States. The other thing I'll say is because A4 cardstock and letter cardstock are both 11 inches long, you can actually get 2 card bases out of one sheet, no matter where you're located. So if you're in the UK or Australia, or if you're in the US, you'll still get 2 card bases out of this, because the actual card base itself is 11 inches by 3.25 inches. So here I'm actually adding the second piece to the card, and the way I've done it is I've just lined up the cards with the 1 piece of pattern paper into 3 piles, and then every time I pick up one of the smaller pieces, I try and find one that it will match with. The idea is that I want to move pretty quickly because I'm trying to make bulk fast cards, but at the same time I want to make sure I don't get stuck at the end with ones that don't match up. So at a certain point, I think with about 5 cards left, I actually pick up all of the little pieces and then I try and match all of the 5 to make sure I don't end up with something that's not going to work well or that's going to be an unusual match. Realistically, with this style of paper pad though, the only thing that would end up tricky would be if I ended up with that wood grain and then a wood grain piece to go with it, because it would just be, the same paper. For the rest of these, they really do have like either a pink or a yellowy orange kind of style, where I was able to match up something that was going to pull the color out of the paper on the left, if that makes sense. It's almost impossible to get it wrong, I guess, is the best way to look at it with this one. Although you can see here that one of the things I was struggling with is which way was up for some of these pattern papers, because some of the text is really sort of grungy style, so it was hard to tell which way the letters went up and down. So you would see that took me a little bit of time on some of those. Now what I've done here is I've lined everything up with the darker style ones on the right hand side, the lighter style on the left hand side, so that when I'm working through my little decorative pieces here, it's just easier for me to figure out which one I think would contrast. For example, you can see here that I've got this bright yellow and I've gone straight to the ones with the darker backing panel here, and it just means I get a contrast and you can really see that little element on the front standing out nicely. That's generally the theme of what I look for when I'm doing this component. And I also try and use up whatever I have sitting in my stash about things that I've had left over from other projects or things that have been sitting around for quite a while. And on the right hand side, you can see there that I've got some pre-prepared elements that are hello or thank you sentiments or thanks sentiments. I will put links below to where these are from. Most of them are actually from Birch Press. Some of them are foiled and others are literally just layered die cuts. So either way, they end up coming up absolutely beautifully. They are one of my favorite companies for doing a standalone sentiment that is quite bulky and on its own will carry a card and make a card look complete. So highly recommend Birch Press. They actually have some really good sales on their website too quite frequently, so definitely worth a look. All right, what am I working on here? I'm still working on the elements that were the cutter parts and doing those first. You might notice that some of the cards I'm picking them up and I'm kind of squeezing them. What I'm actually doing is I'm trying to get them to line up correctly, because it looked like when I did my scoring, a few of my pieces of cardstock were scored slightly wonky. And so what I found is if you try and readjust the top flap of your card and try and make it perfect, it won't line up. It'll just fall back to being slightly askew. So what I do is I try and overcorrect it a little bit when I push my fingers down the edge of the seam, and then it sort of comes back to where it needs to be. I have no clue if that made any sense, but if you're like me, you will sometimes end up with card bases that even though they're the correct size, when you have folded them, they end up slightly off, and it's very irritating. So that is the trick that I used for these small ones today, and it seemed to work quite well. If I made no sense, then maybe put a comment below and I can try and explain it with a pinned comment. Now with these ones here, I am putting the large thanks sentiments, and I'm also adding some of these little elements that I have fussy cut out. I'm not a huge fan of fussy cutting, but I really wanted to use everything in this pack and call it complete, and there wasn't too many elements to cut out. It's always really helpful to have the ephemera or some kind of decoration that is from the same paper series, because you know that everything in that is going to absolutely match, and it's going to be nice and easy for you to have cards that the colors all tie together nicely and they really suit the style of the artwork. These big thanks sentiments, I feel like I could have just left that on its own on this card, but because I've got these little butterflies, I thought maybe I'll add a butterfly, maybe I won't. I'm not sure how far these little elements will stretch. So you can see I've just put that one card aside with the thought that maybe I'll come back to it later and add something. And if I don't have any elements left, I still think that that would work quite nicely on its own. In terms of the clusters, on a bigger A2 card, it can be a little tricky to really figure out how to create a little cluster of elements on the card itself. With these small ones here, given that it is a 3" by 4.5" panel on the front there, it's a lot easier, I find, to add something of interest. You can literally add just a sentiment or a couple of little elements and the card looks finished. On a bigger card, you tend to need to use kind of 3 elements or even more to just create enough interest for the card to look like it's finished. If you're enjoying the video, it would be amazing if you could hit the like button. That is how YouTube knows that you've enjoyed it, and it will help it share to more viewers. I also want to do a big shout out and say thank you to all of my subscribers. I recently just hit a milestone of 4,000 subscribers, which is kind of amazing. So thank you to everyone who is supporting my channel. Now I'm up to the last couple of cards here, and you'll see that I've got a couple of flowers, and then I do have the butterfly on the left-hand side that is not yet connected to the card. it's just sitting there just in case I decide that that's where I'm going to add it. But I really do think that it's the perfect amount of little elements in this paper pack for you to be able to create something really pretty. I'll put a link below to the items that I've used today, just in case there's something here that you wanted to look up or find, just to make it nice and simple and easy. One of the pieces of feedback that I've had in the past is that people like to see a bit more of a close-up of the cards. I think a lot of people watch videos on their phones or on their tablets, so they can be quite small. So right here, I have added a little bit of footage, a little bit more close-up of the individual cards. It's running through them pretty quickly, but you get to see the flavour of the designs, nice and simple, but very pretty cards. I have put a link here to a video that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.